Hi there. Today's mini lecture is on gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is one of the most political things that is done in this country, and it has to do with drawing these boundary lines for districts, redistricting, and reapportionment. And reapportionment, of course, is putting more people or different people in different districts, taking a bunch of people and saying, you have this district, you have this district, and so forth. But here is the concept of gerrymandering, and here's the definition. Gerrymandering is drawing districts for political purposes. Drawing districts for political purposes. And where did this word come from? There was a district up in Connecticut, I think it was, back in just after the drawing of the Constitution, the writing of the Constitution, and they were electing members to Congress. And they had to draw districts, that state legislature had to draw districts. And so in that district, one of the districts that was drawn for political purposes to try to get people to elect a particular political party was a very strange looking district. And somebody, when they saw the configuration of the district, they said, you know what, that looks like, could be a salamander. And the guy that was kind of in charge of it in the state was an old judge named Elbridge Gerry, who was one of the founding fathers. And when somebody said, that looks like a salamander in that district, the way it's drawn, somebody said, no, it's a gerrymander or a Gerrymander from his name. So that's where that came from. But let me give you an example of how this works. If I'm in the state legislature of the state, and let's say this is a small state here, and this is the configuration of the state, and we find out from the census that we're going to get 5 congressional districts. So the state legislature has to draw 5 congressional districts. Okay, before they start, and it's very important to know which political party dominates the state legislature, because they're going to try, whoever's in charge of the state legislature, who has the most members, they're going to get to decide how to draw these districts, and they're going to gerrymander them if they can to ensure that their political party gets to elect more people to office. So before you start drawing your districts, you find out where the Democratic voting is and where the Republican voting is in your state. So they can find that out just by looking, okay? So let's say that I'm going to put a Democrat down here. All right, let's say I'm a Democrat. Then this particular state X, is dominated by the Democratic Party. So what are we going to do? We are going to have these tasks. Draw 5 districts. Okay? And number 2, they are all equal. Remember those court cases back in the 60s and 70s called the one man, one vote, or the one person, the one vote cases, which said that all districts have to be numerically equal. And for Congress, remember, there are about 722,000 people per district. So, okay, remember, what party? Democrat. All right, so let's see what I can do here. Here's a district right here. So that's District 1. And then here's District 2, and maybe District 3, and maybe District 4, and District 5. Now let's see if I've done my districts. Have I drawn 5 districts? Yes. Are they all numerically equal? Yes, they are. I'll just say that they are. And I've accomplished my goal. But here is our gerrymander right here. Why, this district might look, if you put feelers on it and a little mouth and little legs on it, it might look just like a salamander or a gerrymander. But what have I done here? I have packed all the Republicans into one big district, and I have split Republican strength, I could say put some Republicans here, with more Democratic strength in these districts, thus ensuring that this state most probably, will elect 4 Democrats and 1 Republican to Congress. Now this is the way it works. It is so political how these districts are drawn. The Supreme Court has said you can do this. You can gerrymander this politically. That's okay, they say. But don't try to gerrymander this to to keep a certain racial group from electing themselves. Now, we have a major court case in Texas right now. The Republicans drew districts for the 2010 census, and remember, our growth at our 4 additional members of Congress has been driven by Hispanic population. These districts don't reflect the way they're drawn where Hispanics live. They are either packed into one district or they're diluted here. So this case is in the courts right now, and most probably will go to the Supreme Court. So we're going to follow this case very closely. I think you'll enjoy your redistricting game, or we'll be following, and I'll be sending you out some materials on gerrymandering and following this case. Okay, have a great day. See you for the next mini lecture.